hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What is going on, Entertainment? So I'm coming out with another video. So let's talk about this group, okay, in my Connie voice. Before I get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what y'all think about this video. We talking Young Famous African season 3. I can't believe we're on season 3. I low-key feel like this show in itself just flies by so quick because we literally only get, about like 8-9 episodes a season. And not only that, too, it goes by so fast because it drops all at once. At least with the Traders and other reality shows, it's like on a week-to-week basis. No, this show they drop it all the episodes all at once. So it's like if you want to avoid spoilers, you kind of want to not be online. Anyways, this season wasn't my favorite because one of the main reasons Connie wasn't narrating the season. Something about Connie narrating the season, it just makes it much more opulent. It makes it so much more kind. She just does it for me, okay? She just she'll be like, Zari decided to meet with Diamond about their marital affairs. Something about her narrating it, it's more, it flows better. This season sort of seemed odd without her being a main cast member. She did appear, which I was so excited when I seen her pop up. What I like about Connie, she's tapped into what's going on in the Americas. You feel me? Clearly, she was channeling Beyonce's Cowboy Carter era with that red cowboy hat. You feel me? So it's like little stuff like that. I just appreciate her. So we have our usual suspects. We have we're gonna start from the right to the left. Okay, we have Naked, which Naked storyline, I feel like we've seen it play out throughout the whole series of Young Famous in Africa. I thought they were already engaged, but meanwhile, it was because she never moved in with them yet. I thought that was their storyline for last season. I forgot. Because y'all know they drop a season a year, right? Next, we got, of course, Naked's now fiance. We have Connie, who we only saw literally one episode. We have Nadia. We have Annie. We have Louis. We have the newbie, Kefli. I'm pronouncing it wrong, y'all. I'm butchering it. I'm going to get it right, though. Next, we have Swanky. No styling, no Swanky. Okay? Next, we have another newbie. Her name is Annie. Next, we have another newbie. His name is Shakib. Now, Shakib, you guys, is now Zari, the bus lady's new husband, which, by the way, y'all know I live for Zari, the bus lady. She, to me, is Housewives material. That is, if they did, which I know there's a Real Housewives of Lagos or something like that. I know there's an African edition of Real Housewives. She is, perfect. Oh my God, perfect TV. She's dramatic, she's shady as hell, she's contradicting, and she's so pretty. Literally. Okay. Of course, we have Zari the Buzz Lady. We have Diamond, and then we also have Fantana, which, by the way, Fantana, you need to audition for Baddies Africa. I done told y'all that. I said it on my last Baddies video. She needs to be on Baddies Africa. I could just see her on Baddies Africa. She has the aesthetic. She's even said on one of the episodes, she told Annie she don't stand on business, which I'm like, oh my God. Those the words right there. I submit that for an audition. You might as well screen record that and send it to Natalie. You know what I'm saying? Also, Diamond, I've realized after watching this series, he is the African version of Future. Whole lot of kids, dreadhead, deemed as the bad guy, a player, low-key insecure, and a rapper, a musician. That is the African version of Future. So how you pronounce one of the newbies' names is Kafwili Mabot, okay? I mean, no disrespect by that. She is new, so no shade. Mind y'all, she was barely on this season. Like, this is how you know Kafwili never didn't really give as much she thought she gave because we barely saw her like at all. So how we're gonna be doing this recap. I'm not gonna do it episode by episode since we got all the 8 episodes. I'm gonna go by character and cross-reference scenes and the most important scenes and storyline for each sort of situation that's going on for each character. Okay. First, let's start with Naked. Naked, you, my man, are the Jim Jones of Africa. Why are you leading this girl on? Poor Kaylee. Like, I feel so bad for her sometimes because I just feel like she could literally go out there and find her any other African, maybe even more successful, and be straight. But she's sticking with this man, and he's sort of stringing her along. That was a lot of what his storyline had to deal with, and then him also trying to play peacemaker. I'm sorry, Kelly. If I were you, I would feel a way about her and his and Connie's relationship because I'm sorry. You know them girls, big sis, little sis. That's my bro. No. Especially if he's like stringing you along. Because my mind, I'm the type, my mind will start wandering. Is that why you're stringing me along? Is because, you know, you dealing with other people? You know what I'm saying? That's what I would start to think if I was Kelly. So she's really a strong woman for not letting that really too much get to her because that's what would kind of like start getting in my mind. All right. Now, in this season, she finally proposes to her. You know what I was disappointed in? What I love on Young Famous African is they always leave us with a cliffhanger. I kind of wish they left us with a cliffhanger and we found out next season if she said yes to the proposal. Okay, I kind of wish they did that, but they didn't. She did end up saying yes, which I don't think was the best thing because I feel like he was sort of pushed to do it, not because he genuinely wanted to propose to her, which that's never a good thing because usually those type of relationships never really last. Now, at one point throughout this season, she was talking about how she wanted to move out. And what Kaylee did was told everybody in the cast except for Naked. Okay, DJ Naked. All right. So Naked was really pissed because he felt like blindsided. And I thought it was gonna break up this season because the scene where he was just like, so if you want to move out, go. I mean, it is what it is. And then he left and then left her alone. And she was like, Andale. I was like, oh my God. It's over for you. Okay, I'm playing. Andale was on this season. Nadia was. You feel me? So I thought they were gonna break up then, but they didn't. I didn't like how she did that too. So Naked had every right to feel a way that he did, but it's just the way he strung her along this season. That was not cool, like at all. Like he was making it seem as if she was like a burden for wanting to be, you know, married when they've been together for a little bit now. I mean, look at Zari, the boss lady. I mean, she got married in 5 months. That damn Zari is something else. Who you don't get married in 5 months and have a luxurious wedding? Like, that's a different type of girl. I'm telling you. I feel like when it comes to Naked, also he babies Annie a lot. I feel like he could be a little bit more truthful to Annie and save her a lot of the lashings that Annie gets because goddamn, like I be feeling bad for Annie. I'm not gonna lie. They be greeting her like I'm surprised she's not bald. No wonder her hair is a buzz cut because the way that they be reading her edges really would fall off. So it's like she has the perfect haircut for this show because oh my God, they be reading her from like here, Africa to South Florida. I'm like, God damn. Annie can't even sit right. So they be like, that's why your baby father in your silly marriage. Like they just be going in on her. She just be like just panting. I'll be feeling bad. I'm not gonna lie. But Annie is messy. They're all messy. So let's just say that. But I feel like Naked could be a little bit more honest with her and tell her what she's doing wrong that's causing all of these tongue lashings. So that way it could kind of save her from it. Because to me, Naked gives her sort of like a pity party a lot. And that allows them to kind of get on her and tell her the truth sometimes before he could even get a chance to. Another person that's missing from this season is Andale. Andale is gone, okay? Andale, he went out, okay? He's no longer here. Andale is out of there, okay? Which I am a little disappointed too, because him being like, you know, the Steve Harvey of Africa, it was sort of tea. So the fact that that's gone is sort of disappointing, but it is what it is. So it's two people that sort of, you know, fell off of this season. That's not on this season. That girl, that new girl from last season didn't come back, of course. She didn't even finish the full season. So, you know, I'm not surprised. I will say, though, that I feel like Naked needs to speak up a lot more in a lot of the situations. He's too quiet. I think he lets people like a Swanky and Zari, the bus lady, kind of overtalk him and step all over him. And it's like, nigga, if you don't speak up, I know something. All right? The way he should have checked Zari, the bus lady, and the new girl for really, you know, ruining his now fiance's party, that should have been done. Now off to Kaye. Kaye, to me, needs to find her voice. You need to find your voice in relationships with Naked. You need to find your voice in friendships with other girls. The way that Zari, the bus lady, disrespected you, you should have threw the drink at her instead of new girl. I'm telling you. She shut you down like you was a dog. I didn't like that. That made me look at Zari like, wow, you are a bitch. Okay, B-I-C-T-H. I'm playing. No, for real though. Like, I just feel like she allows people to sort of play in her face too much. And that's not nice. Like, you let Naked play your face for like a little bit of time, and now you letting these girls sort of play in your face too. It's not cool. You already told her, please don't do it at my event. And the way that she was acting up and being messy and being loud, you should have really checked her and show her you was nothing to play with. Or did you a dramatic reality TV show, calm in action, and called the federales and the security on her and said, get Zari out of my party. Yes, the bus lady, get her out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have did you one of those, because that would have made them sort of see that, hey, I'm not playing. Okay, I'm not playing, bitch. Like, we would have really put some respect on your name. I do feel like Kaye and Naked storyline, I feel like has run its course. If they don't come back next season, I'm not gonna be too mad, because I feel like we've seen what we have to see. If they do get married, then okay, right? Next we have Connie, which let me tell y'all, when I tell y'all what I noticed throughout the second episode, I'm like, where the hell is Connie? Where the hell is Connie? Because I've seen her on the promo, but we didn't see her at all till like the 6th, 7th episode. So I was gagging. I'm like, no! Why is she not in the season? Apparently she was going through some personal stuff, and that's why she didn't do the show, which I'm sort of like, ain't that the point of reality TV where you show your personal life and your strifes? But this is our narrator, to be honest. And this season was sort of odd because we were missing the narrator. We were missing Connie, okay? I would have loved to see some of her takes from some of the arguments that happened, like the Lewis versus Swanky, like the Zari versus Annie, like the Zari versus the new girl. I wanted to see her take on that, whose side she would take, and if she would try to play peacemaker, it'd be a little messy. So it bothers me that she wasn't really involved in the season. Now we did see her pop up and check in on Naked and basically encourage Naked to have him propose to Kaye. Now, do I think Naked and Connie effed? No, I don't think so at all. If I was Kaye, would I feel away? Yes, because Connie's a bad bitch, and that's just that on that. But you know what it is though? Naked give me the type that, like, you know, he don't like the white girl of the black girls. You know what I'm saying? That's why Kaye was the choice for him. So Kaye to me seems so securely set herself that, you know, she wouldn't see him as like she wouldn't see Connie as competition. So there's that, right? Now, next person we're gonna get into, y'all, is Nadia. Okay, Nadia to me brought it this season. I said, ooh, the way she came at Annie and said, my nigga, my nigga. I said, what? Not y'all saying nigga on Young Famous in Africa. And that's the first time I done heard them say nigga. Okay? She didn't even say it with an African accent. Because to be honest, out of all of the cast, Nadia to me is the most Americanized. If we really want to keep it back, not even Fantana to me is more Americanized than Nadia. Nadia seems to be like, you know, she got an auntie that's African, so she got on the show. It's no show. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her culture and stuff, but I'm just saying, like, y'all get it. Anyways, when she said, my nigga, the whole cast said, oh, like, it's like she spoke a curse on Ani, okay? I will say, her anger towards Ani was a little much. Like, I get you guys got into it and everything, and some of the stuff that Annie said about you and like that whole situation, but the way that she came at Annie was like, wow. Did Annie like sleep with Diamond behind your back when you was dating him or something? Because it's like, Jesus. She came with so much vitriol at Annie. Annie didn't even know how to react. Okay? She really did not. I lived for Nadia being like the messy one this season. She was the one sort of like going in between and trying to spike up the drama to see what was going on between like the rest of the girlies. And it was very interesting for her to do that. That is somebody I want to see come back because of just that whole situation in general. The way that she sort of laughs in Fantana's face because Fantana thinks that her and Diamond are going to become a thing, which this is why you should do baddies, Fantana. You think just like a baddie. This shade, okay? It was kind of funny to me. Like, Fantana, you go watch the show back and feel a little bit of ways towards Nadia because the girls look you laughing in your face. Because she probably laughing in your face because, you know, you looked a little foolish thinking that you would ever have anything serious with Diamond. All right? I will say, Nadia to me needs a love interest on this show. I feel like that's what's missing with her on this show. Like, I feel like since she broke up with, you know, our favorite American rapper, I forget his name, but he's American. I remember she was dating him in the first few seasons. And what I found out though, because I like to do online stuff just to see, because y'all gotta know they probably filmed this season like months ago, and they just now dropping it in 2025. So apparently she was dating this guy, and he got like murdered, like shot and killed in South Africa. So that's why we don't see Nadia with, you know, a spouse on the show after doing some digging. So I guess she's still probably healing over that, and that's why we haven't seen that you know, on the show. Now, next person we're gonna talk about is Annie. Annie, it's time for you to go away from the show. Let me tell you why. Half of them don't even like you, and it's sad. I'll be feeling bad for her because it's as if like you, it's like I would hate to compare her. I'm not going to use that comparison. I'm not, okay, but it is like an orphan unwanted. Orphan Annie. See, I got a better comparison. Like, literally, every time she goes into a scene, you could already tell she's so defensive and she's so like scared because she knows that like a tongue lashing is on the way. It's kind of sad to watch. I'd be feeling really bad for that lady. She probably gets a lot of anxiety doing this show. The nerves is probably out the roof. She probably got high blood pressure and some more ish doing this show because they come at her hard. But Annie, you be asking for it. You say a lot of unwarranted opinions and you're very shady with some of the stuff that you say. But when it comes to the beef between Annie and Swanky, I'm Team Annie. Let me tell you why. Swanky would not talk about that voice note. He lied. You did mention that voice note about how voicemail. She kept saying voice note, but it was really like a voicemail recording or something to that effect, where Annie was talking about Swanky. Swanky would not play it. So if it exists and she keeps asking you to play it, why are you not playing it? That means it doesn't exist. You heard through the grapevine that she was talking about you. You didn't have a physical recording of it, which what you stated the last season. So Annie was not capped with that, and it kind of irritated me how nobody pointed that out throughout the whole season. Like, hey, why don't you play the voice note, play the voicemail or whatever that she asking for? Because all Annie kept saying when she got into it with Swanky, she said, "Play the voice note, play the voice note, play it, play it, play it." She just kept saying, "Play it, play it, play it." And Swanky's just like, "I don't have time for this," and then get up and you know whip his fabric in her face as he walks off. No, we needed to hear the voicemail that you had on her because clearly you lied about it because you wouldn't even address it. But Annie, when it comes to you and Zari, you had it coming. Why you come to that lady wedding and Annie is like that drug auntie that you low-key embarrassed of. Like she's like she gonna hop. So in the series, Annie gets invited by Zara, okay, to the wedding. Ani is in the blue for the ones that haven't watched it. She's the one in the blue jacket, and the lady in the gold jacket invited her to her wedding. Mind you, the guy she marrying, she only known for 5 months. So I kind of get how she was talking crap because I would have did the same, but in my head. Or when I got home to my homegirl, you feel me? Then I would have talked shit. But that damn Annie was talking crap during the wedding. She's just like, wow, he's like a baby. You know, this is her son. You know, he's a big man. But, you know, the husband, that's a baby. Because y'all know that them Zari, the bus lady, she likes some young. Okay? Anything under 25. Oh, my sis. Zari is a cougar, okay? The tigers in the African fields get confused sometimes with Zari the bus lady. You hear me? Because she is a cougar. She like them young, a jaguar. You hear me? She likes them young. So she gets married in the beginning of the season and invites everybody, including Diamond, which Diamond claims he was not invited, but Zari is pressed down on, you know, the fact that he was married, that he did it, that she did invite him to the wedding. So Ani, back to Ani, gets invited to the wedding. She shows up. What confused me with the wedding is they was all wearing white. But I think that Zari knew better because we know she's not pure. She done had like 5 kids already. So, you know, you've been in the field, girl. So everybody was like in white, which this is why I love Young, Famous, and African, because the level of opulence, fashions, garments, and jewelry, and just aesthetic is just top tier. There is no comparison. There is no, you know, side by side that you could do with any other show compared to this. When it comes to the fashions, the reads, and just the aesthetic. Like, it's next level. No wonder they be taking months and they only film 1 season a year. Dead ass. Ani got on that damn phone. Got on that damn mic and she said, "I want to thank you, Zari, for inviting me to the wedding. And I did not think you liked me." I was like, what? Girl, get off of the mic. What are you doing? Like, it was just so cringy to me. Like, oh my God. I just feel like Annie doesn't have a lot of real people around her. Because real friends would have, like, not have her so embarrassed so many times. Because since season 1, we've been seeing her get embarrassed on this show, either by her man and all the allegations, or by her friends turning on her. It's a nonstop thing with her. And I just feel like a lot of the cast are not genuinely here for her. So I just think it's time for her to go after the season. Just not even because of her not fitting in with the rest of the cast, for her mental health. You can tell it genuinely stresses her out when she starts to cry and she leaves every scene. She cannot complete a full group scene. She gonna leave. You feel me? That damn black truck gonna be outside. That bitch Naj ain't got nothing on her. Like, that black truck gonna be about 2 feet away if Annie's there. Because she might get in a screaming match and leave. Okay? But I just think Annie talks a lot of crap. That meeting that she had with Fantana, you was just talking a whole lot of hot, okay? Talking hot about Nadia, talking hot about Swanky, which, you know, like I said, when it comes to those two, I'm team Annie, because I see right through Swanky's crap. Like, he's low-key a snake, okay? Also, Ani, you said that Swanky would get beat up in Nigeria. If he walked through the streets, I think it was the streets of Nigeria, one of them streets. He said Frank and Swanky would have walked through one of them streets, he would get beat up. Okay? Something about that gave me very much, you know, it gave me like gay. It gave me not gay bashing. That's not the word. It gave me very much like hate crime. Like something about it screamed gay hate crime. It just screamed gay hate crime. That's all that flashed through my mind when she said it. I said, "What, child? That damn Annie done got the goons on Swanky." I said, "Oh my god, that girl not playing with you, Swanky. Okay, stop playing with that girl. She not playing with you no more." But the way that Swanky did her, I'm not even mad at her for feeling like that and feeling so bold to talk about him because Swanky really did the most last season. Like, did the up team most about how Annie's such a traitor. But now she's giving you the opportunity this season to play the voice note and play, the recording, and you did not do that. Okay? Now Zari, her and versus Zari, the way that Zari was coming at her, she's like, "What do you know, bitch? Okay, you don't stand on any business." I was like, "Whoa!" She was coming at Annie. Zari was coming at Annie so hard, and Annie had nothing to say because you kind of got caught up talking crap. And with these cast members, you say one thing, they're gonna go back and make it seem like it was a whole big thing. Annie was just sort of noticing how young this man is, which everybody kind of peeps that. He is very young, and Zari, you know that for 5 months, apparently. And you're marrying this man. And I got about like 5 kids between y'all. So who wouldn't be saying something slick every now and then? What Ani doesn't peep is Ani's not a reality TV girl. It's like the cameras are not around, which is the perfect type of reality star. That's why she makes good TV, and that's why she causes so much drama and controversy, because she, does not notice that the cameras are there. So she just talks out the mouth. She does wild crap while the cameras are filming her. That's the perfect reality star, not somebody who kind of picks and chooses or does certain things on camera just so they could get a reaction. That's why, to me, she's perfect for this show. But I think she's running her course on this show. The stuff she was saying about Zari was 100% right, but I just wish she had enough gall and guts enough to really defend herself against Zari and not let Zari read the hell out of her without reading her back. Because you really could have went in on that girl, to be honest. You let her play with you a little bit. That's just how I feel. You let her play with you a little bit, and I wish you had defended yourself a little bit more. I really question Annie's like mental well-being. Coming from somebody who has a family member that's mentally ill, it's like I'm not trying to say it in a funny way, but more so in a concerning way. I do feel like she has some issues that she hasn't really fully talked about on camera, because some of the way she reacts to certain situations and acts, it's a little bit unhinged. Okay. Now she gets confronted by Zadi, the boss lady, for talking to Fantana crap about, Swanky, talking crap about her herself, and then talking crap at the wedding, right? And Ani said that basically she feels like this group is full of hypocrites and liars. But my whole thing is, Annie, you did say that. You were talking crap. So why are you just all of a sudden just forgetting and then just act a little bit delusional? And why would you sit down with Fantana knowing that she's best friend, not best friends, but close friends with Swanky? And she gonna go back and tell Swanky everything you told her and everything you talk crap about him about? It just didn't make sense to me. And this is why I say I kind of question sometimes how she operates mentally, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't, 1 + 1 don't equal 2. It equals like 29. Okay. Now, Annie reveals this season 2 she's had a miscarriage, which this is another reason why I feel like this show is not for her. For her to end up losing that baby last year, isn't a really healthy environment for her to be in if it's causing you to not have health complications. That's why you really got to adjust sometimes the environment that you're in. Y'all, that's why I'm about to quit this job, because it's like my mental health is starting to be affected and I'm not dealing with it. There's shade, okay? I'm just saying. So, another thing I sort of peep, does Annie actually live in Africa? Because am I the only one that peeps that she had to sort of kind of leave? Like, does she live in Dubai or something? Because from how she sort of called her husband, my husband, this Annie, my husband, right? After she called her husband, she looked like she was packing her stuff to up and leave. So it's like she was staying in a hotel, or not a hotel, but like a B&B for the show. And then after the show ends up leaving. Like that's what it was sort of given to me, to be honest. But a lot of the reality girls do that in the US. So Annie's not an anomaly, she's one of the others. You feel me? But I will say Annie is always going to be the main character of every season she's in. Like her or not, she is going to be that girl that is most talked about because she is the type of girl that invokes a lot of drama and conflama. Like she gonna be the talk of the town because she gonna start up some mess. And Annie, please stop trying that friendship with Swanky. That man do not like you. Like it's clear as day. That man don't like you, and it's okay. All right, y'all had y'all friendship fall out. It's okay to just be cordial, cool for the show, but to trust him and to keep this friendship situation going, I just don't think it's healthy. I wish that she would stand up for herself a little bit more and speak up, especially if she's going to be messy. It's something to be messy, but you got to stand up for yourself too, because the mess going to come to bite back. So you would think you would, be a little bit more defensive when these people is coming at you with your words verbally, but she doesn't seem to do that, which bothers me. Okay, especially when Nadia was coming at her and she sort of kind of let her do it. All right. And that's all for really Annie. Like I said, I wish she goes off of the show for her mental health. That's all for Annie, y'all. Next we got Louis. Louis Montana. Let me tell y'all, Louis is fine. There's shade. Like, oh, clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it. I need some Lewis, okay, in my life. DJ Lewis is that nigga. You feel me? He's a little soft. The only thing that bothers me with Lewis, I feel like he lets the cast overpower him, overtalk him, and he needs to gain some kahunas. You let Swanky have more balls than you, and he's a queen. No shade. But that don't mean nothing. Just because somebody's a queen don't mean a thing. Queens usually are more tough than straight men, if we really want to keep it a buck. Okay? So Lewis this season was on a journey to find a baby mama. To find a woman to be the mother of his children in my jock baby mama voice. Okay? Mothers of his children. Now, what Lewis did was very like disgusting. He literally was scouting women that were deemed plausible enough to carry his child. If that is not culturally inappropriate, I don't know what is. I don't know what in his right mind thought that was okay. That's something that you sort of figure out on your own. You don't make it a whole event and you don't make it a whole scene on the show. That made him look freaking egotistical. It made him look very much like like a maniac. For you to really do that is crazy. He was having like speed dating for donors, literally. Okay. So, in one of the most infamous scenes he had this season, he got into it with one of the newer cast members because she herself has had issues in regards to carrying a baby, stuff like that. So, she felt like it was very degrading to be a part of it and to basically scout women to have his baby. Okay. So Lewis got into it with Any. Any y'all is in like a famous actress in Nigeria. She's known to be like a infamous Nigerian actress, starred in a whole lot of movies, TV shows, right? And Any, you guys, is the woman that got into it with Lewis because Lewis thought to invite her to the scene. I don't know why he invited any woman to the scene. I feel like any of the girls would have had an issue with that. All right. Lewis so damn fine though. That's the thing. I just like looking at the nigga. Like, you feel me? Like he's just the hair, all that, like he really is T, right? Like that's like a man. You feel me? Like built nice, all that. You feel me? Like Diamond don't do it for me. Diamond give me like he pop perks and he eat chips. Like he don't really, he don't eat his protein. Lewis give me he eat his protein. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. We all know Lewis's background. His family kind of turned his back on him and everything like that. So I get him trying to build a family, but why not try to just do it the traditional way? Find a lady you like, get with them, married, all that, then have a baby and all that. You feel me?
You see Zari, the bus lady, she got married in 5 months. You could do the same and then have a baby instead of looking for a donor and then it get complicated, especially if the potential woman that is going to be your surrogate are ladies that you potentially have crushes on or have some sort of feelings towards. Don't you think that's going to be a conflict of interest when they have your baby? Because then they're going to be like, oh, I'm keeping it for myself. I'm going to let you know when you're going to see the baby. Unless you have them sign a contract, which Lewis seems like the type that's going to make them sign a contract. All right. Her and Annie and him got into it real bad. Annie is the lady in the purple. Annie got into it with Lewis so bad. Annie was cussing him out. He was just like, "How dare you invite me to an event like this, Lewis? Very disrespectful. Okay, I do not want to be a part of this. Scouting women that to think that they are viable enough to have your baby. I mean, how crazy is that? Like, she started to go insane on Lewis. Lewis didn't know what to do. He started to get so upset. He's like, okay, if you don't want to be here, you can go. I said, what? We saw another side of Lewis this season. I said, oh, he's a dick low key. Wow. Like, but a lot of African men have this, like, I'm not trying to stereotype, but some of them are known to have sort of like not a better than attitude, but like a above attitude. They carry themselves to a certain standard. So if you are disturbing that standard or messing with that standard, they may snap. So Lewis is the type that feels like he is at a certain level in life, and as a man he should be respected as such. So that's why he reacted that way, because he told her, you could get the out. Okay, why are you even here? Stop sitting there. Right now, apparently he was dating this lady. Her name is I found her on Instagram, y'all, and she was, of course, on the show. She was the one that was basically officiating Zari the Bus Lady's wedding. Okay, her name is Zozo. All right. This is what she looks like. She looks like she could be Lewis's mother. I guess Lewis has a thing for older women, which is very disappointing. Okay, like, wow, this is what, like, you feel me? That is Lewis's mother. You are going for your mother. But due to, like, his trauma and what he has gone through his family, it makes sense that he likes older women, because he's probably trying to get that mother figure type in his life. So that is why he goes for that type of aesthetic. She's beautiful, gorgeous, okay? But like Annie said, or I think it was Nadia said on the show, she does look older than Zadi. And we all know Zadi is, not a spring chicken. They shade. I hope they work out. Apparently that's like his girlfriend. They're like seeing each other to some effect from what we know, but we'll see how long that lasts. All right. Ooh, Lewis so damn fine. Anyways, now you know what's funny about Lewis? He cannot stand Swanky. Anytime Swanky walks in a scene, it's like an eye roll or he looks down. In his mad mind, he's probably calling him faggot in an African dialect. Like, he does not like Swanky at all. No Swanky, no style. Like, he do not like that nigga. And I don't blame him. Like, Swanky's a lot. You feel me? Like, being around him maybe once in a blue moon, okay, but like to be around him on a continuous basis, I even would get irritated because it's a lot. Like, he's so dramatic. He's just, oh my god, like it's like being a part of a show, being like next to him. You feel, because it's just so much. He don't stop, right? So he cannot stand Swanky, right? He ends up getting into it with Swanky. I thought they was about to start swinging on each other, okay? Because Swanky did not like the fact that Annie was disrespected at the scene with him and Zari the Bus Lady's now husband, right? Which the husband didn't really disrespect her. It was really Lewis. Like, Shakib didn't really do much, right? So Swanky's just like, if any man messes with any will give me a call and I will be the first one there. Okay. So the moment that I heard that Lewis is disrespecting Ini, I'm going to check him. All right. They sat down at a table, like a group event. Next thing you know, Swanky starts getting at Lewis. He's like, "What the fuck is that? You keep fucking bringing up this fucking pregnancy. Can you leave us out of it? It's exhausting. My God." I was when I tell you I started laughing so hard because Swanky was so irritated with Lewis as if it was like bothering his spirit that he was trying to find a woman to carry his baby. Like that was just not an in for him. Like he was just not jigging with it. Like it was not his stilo, right? It was funny. So they start yelling at each other face. He's like, "No, you shut the fuck up. You shut up. You shut up." They start getting each other face. They start yelling, yelling, yelling. I said, "Oh, they for the sweat. They for the swing. They ain't swing, y'all." But there was about like 2-3 seconds for swinging on each other. I thought they would get the fist fighting. No shade. I feel like Swanky would have won. Swanky probably would have won. Lewis seemed like he got a whole lot of muscles, but he's soft. No shade. Okay. Pineapple juice. Ice cream cake. Pie. You know, he's a little soft. That's how I see it. Right? It was very nice how he apologized to anybody at the end of the scene. Like stuff like that is shows you that he's really a good person and he's not a malicious person at heart. Like I don't think he really did that to disrespect him, to disrespect any at all. So I'm kind of glad that they made up before the season ended because I don't think that really was his intention, like he said. I just feel like he didn't know that about her and thought that she would just be comfortable enough to do it and just be a supportive person to him, and that just wasn't the case. Okay, let's take a commercial break to admire how fine Louis is. Mm, 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 mm. I told y'all, Diamond just don't do it for me. He reeks of Chris Brown. Like, mind you, Diamond and Chris Brown have worked together. Like, he just give me like he on drugs or something like that. Like, ugh. Allegedly, I'm not saying he is, but yeah, it's the vibes. Anyways, that was mostly Lewis's storyline. Fantana dissed him throughout the season, basically saying that he needs to be more of a man and like a bad boy, and sort of like approach her if he really wants her like that. Which is like Fantana, like you had Diamond up and through you. Why would she want his sloppy seconds? No shade. You feel me? Like Fantana really be acting like she's like that girl when her lips are protruding harder than Lewis's muscles. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Be dissing that man like that. Next, we gonna talk about Swanky. No Swanky, no styling, apparently. No Swanky, no audio. That too. Swanky styling game has to be awarded. Like, this man is so good when it comes to putting pieces together. Some of them I'm not too big of fans of, but just the drama of it all is so like it's so kind. Like he just knows how to make an entrance in every scene. And that's just been since season one, right? And probably his whole damn life. Now, what bothers me with Swanky is we have yet to talk about him and his sexuality. Apparently, y'all, because of the African culture and stuff like that, and I guess the nature of the show, they don't want to delve too deep into it. Clearly, this is a gay man. If he says otherwise, I'm Annie. You feel me? Like you're just like you're lying at this point if you think otherwise, right? So I just feel like if we would have gotten to know him, because now it's 3 seasons, and I feel like we barely really know him in deep and depth. We only really ever know him being a best friend to somebody, him being a friend to somebody. We don't know who Swanky is and as an actual person. So that sort of bothers me because if we were sort of awarded that, it would have been a lot better for the nature of the show to know him as a personal character. I feel like he was a fake friend to Annie because you never showed us audio, voicemail, whatever you had on Annie that you mentioned last season. I feel like you're so quick to make her seem like she's such a problem, which Annie does talk a lot of crap and stir up a lot of mess. But I feel like Swanky does the same, but he does it more in a sneaky way, and he's a lot smarter than Annie and moves a lot more sneaky than Annie. Like he's probably instigating and doing a little shysty stuff behind the scenes, but he's so smart with it that he rarely gets caught up in the midst of it because Swanky is the top person you got to be careful of. That nigga friends with everybody. One more time, that man fans with everybody. So you got to really be careful of those type of people because them the type of people that is friends with everybody and at the same time friends with nobody. I'm just saying. So that's all I'll say on that one. I feel like the way that he piped up on Lewis, it was a little bit needed. I'm not gonna lie. Lewis was very disrespectful how he treated that any lady. For her to tell, for him to tell her, if you don't like it, you can go, as if he was summoning her out of his face. That would have made anybody snap. Cause nigga, who the hell are you? That's why you can't find no wife. You feel me? So it's like I get why he piped up the way that he did. No shade. And all the women need a friend like that in Swanky that will stand up to another dude when they feel disrespected, because I feel like Naked wouldn't do that. Diamond Loki wouldn't do that. Uh you feel me? So it's like for him to really step up to the plate and do something like that, that shows that he, his character, it shows that he's not scary. So shout out to him for that. Uh, I feel like when it comes to him bringing the newer girls throughout the season, we need to stop having him do that because clearly they don't work out. You bring this new girl who literally thinks this is like Love and Hip Hop. She try to throw drinks and some motion. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? You need to be stopped. This is out of control. You feel me? Throwing drinks. You could tell Swanky was so embarrassed. Swanky was like, damn, I should have brought her ghetto ass on this show. Now they gonna think I'm ghetto. This is Young Famous in Africa. And this isn't Love and Hip Hop. You feel me? This isn't Bad Girls Club. This ain't Housewives. We supposed to be a little bit more top tier. We're Africans, right? So I feel like you embarrassed the hell out of Swanky, new girl, right? So we need to stop doing that. Also, I feel like Zari and Swanky will eventually get into it really bad because Zari is sort of catching on to Swanky's tea. I think Zari, the boss lady, is starting to see that Swanky is a little bit of a messy person and that he's not really too much to be trusted. So I think that will be something that will be probably addressed in like a season 4. But that's really mostly it about Swanky. I feel like he needs to stop trying this relationship with Annie because you now do not like this lady. So don't try to fake the funk just for the friendliness of the show. Y'all don't all have to all be friends on this show. It's about 13, 14 of y'all people on here. So it's like, it's just not going to happen. So let's keep it a buck. Okay? Now, on to Annie. This is one of our newer cast members. She, to me, was very needed for this season because out of most of the cast, she seems the most level-headed and she seems the most normal and less delusional. Okay? And we love that. Because the way that she, called out Annie was needed. Because Annie, in that scene, when they were confronting her about talking crap about Zari the Boss Lady's husband, I was here for it because Annie, you're sitting there when these people are coming at you and you're not saying nothing. Annie, in her defense, was saying she was taking her time to reply back, but you really weren't. You were sort of waiting for somebody else to sort of defend you. And she even tried to step in and tried to defend you, but you got mad at her for basically interjecting, okay? And not giving her time, I guess, to reply. Like, no, you wasn't gonna really say nothing. Let's keep it back. You wasn't. Okay? The way that Annie snapped on Lewis, I said, ooh, that is mother. She let that nigga have it. She said, you're never going to talk to me like that, okay? Don't talk to me again. Don't address me. They said all at that table. She made Lewis talk to the whole table and not her, and didn't let Lewis finish. This ain't your typical African woman, okay? She gonna stand on business about her respect. And I was here for it, okay? She's pretty. She knows how to dress very, very well. And I like the fact that she stands up for herself. It doesn't take no ish, especially being a newer cast member, right? So that usually isn't the easiest on a show like this because they're ensemble cast and they're very well connected and have deeper like friendships. I love the fact that she was so open in accepting Lewis's apology because I do not think Lewis meant any malice during that whole situation. So I'm glad that she was able to accept it with open arms because that in itself showed me that, she don't hold grudges and she could see through people's BS, because I really do think he meant it. The man started crying, for God's sakes. Okay, the man has really family issues that need to really be addressed and that he needs to go to therapy for. I don't know if Africans believe in therapy and all, but he needs to go to therapy. He needs to heal. Okay, I think that's a part of what's missing. That's why he's trying to rush and have a baby. Okay, have a baby by me, baby, a billionaire. Right? We need to stop that, Mr. Lewis. Next, we're gonna do two at the same time. We're gonna do Zari the Bus Lady and her husband. Okay, her husband, you guys, goes by the name of Shakib, and he looks like the African Lil Boosie, right? Zadi, Ike side eye you. You married this man in 5 months. That's questionable. You got about like 5 kids. Two of them is like underage. It's just very questionable to me. In light of everything going on with like all these predators and single women dating these dudes, and then the dudes sort of abusing their children, it's like now I sort of look at relationships now completely different. I really do. It makes you side eye a lot of people because of everything going on with all these cases that y'all be seeing on Instagram with these women going out with these men that they barely know like that, and then the men going around and doing some less than honest situations with their kids and a whole bunch of disgusting things. So it does make me look at Zari the Bus Lady a little bit different, because I thought you a little bit had more coof than that, Zari the Bus Lady, but clearly you dropped the boss. You just Zari the Lady, because the way that you could have really got to know this man for a year and then married him and didn't is crazy. The wedding was amazing. Say what you want about Zari the Bus Lady, but like, baby, that wedding was like top tier fashion. She looked absolutely amazing. Okay. The dress was everything, the decor, the venue. Like, Zari just knows how to like stunt. She literally is the ultimate stunt queen. And that's one thing you gotta respect about that damn Zari the Bus Lady. I do think he loves her. What scares me is his hesitation, but the hesitation, the motivation in my Tyler voice. What scares me is his hesitation between him and between Zari the Bus Lady and Diamond. He's already side eyeing that and marrying her, side eyeing that. That's not a good mix. These are conversations that Shakib had with Naked after the marriage that he should have had with Diamond and Zadi before getting married. About, or do y'all still have feelings for each other? Do y'all think y'all could get close again? Do y'all think y'all ever F again? Okay? Because Zadi, in my opinion, still has a little bit of feelings for Diamond. No matter how much he wants to try to act like he's a loser and that he could never have her, she, in my mind, has a little bit of a thing for Diamond and his loose dreads. You feel me? But I will say, I think he does love her. I think he does love her a whole lot. And I think Zadi likes him a whole lot too. Do I think she loves him just as much as Diamond? I question that. I question that. Now, let's talk about Zari the Bus Lady herself and her relationships with the rest of the cast and her going at it with Annie. The moment she found out about Annie talking crap about her at the wedding and her husband at the wedding, that damn Annie let her have it. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God. She said, you think you're going to be talking about me and my husband like that? Let's talk about you and your fucking silly marriage. Okay, she started to go ham on Annie so hard. Annie couldn't even catch her breath. I'm talking about she snatched her from the rooter to the tutor. And it was deserved. You don't go to somebody's wedding and just talk shit about them. Like, come on. Regardless if it's a show or not, like, Annie lacks a lot of cool in what she does. So I sort of wish that she had not invited Annie, so that way she could have avoided a situation like this, because you did invite the bitch. So what did you expect? This is the thing with Zadi. She's very sneaky. It's like it was like a setup. Like, you invited her just to see if she would talk crap about you, and then when you found out she was talking crap about you, you cussed her out. It looks like she walked into a bear trap, right? That's just how I feel. I think Zadi is sort of catching on that Swanky is very messy and that, he be stirring up some stuff, right? And I feel like Zadi, the way that you acted towards Kaye at that party was very disrespectful. You don't respect that girl. That apology to me didn't really mean a lot because you really do not respect her as a woman. Because the way that you sort of shut her down as if she was irrelevant, as if she didn't matter, was crazy at her own event at that. Okay? Y'all remember I think it was season 1 or 2, and she said, I'm going to invite you for a tea. Remember when she did her tea parties with that infamous hat? Like Zari is just like sorry. Some of y'all don't like her, but like she just does it for me. Like, anyways. But the way you disrespected Kelly was so wrong. And Kelly was so like weak for not really standing up to you because I would have kicked you out. Literally, for the dramaticness of it all. Security would have had to escort you up out that bitch just for you trying me. Uh, it shows that you don't really respect her, and it shows you like you don't even respect Naked at that because that's his lady. You feel me? But I'm glad she was woman enough to realize her wrongs and apologize because he was dead ass wrong for talking to that lady like that. He was. Okay? Do I think her marriage to this guy's gonna last? I do. Now, she ends up also in this season meeting with Diamond. So apparently, y'all, she used the infamous word cancel. Da da da. She told Diamond, "You are canceled out of my life and this marriage." I said, "Canceled." It's so funny seeing them use like American trigger words to sort of talk about each other because she said that Diamond was canceled. I'm like, how you one person gonna cancel somebody? It takes a group, okay? Out here in America, they shade, okay? It takes all of social media to cancel somebody. One person can't be canceled. One person can't do the canceling. You feel me? So I was glad that Diamond confronted her because she does take stuff to socials, and that was his biggest issue with Zadi because Zadi basically went to social media, was talking crap about him, throwing shots at him, and he felt like if we're supposed to, have a good co-parent relationship, you shouldn't be going on the gram and basically talking crap about me, which I really do agree with. At the end of the day, they have kids, so they're gonna have to be around each other for years to come. So going on Instagram and doing it for stunts and shows and the young, famous African audience, it don't really do the children any favors. So I'm glad that Diamond checked her on that because that wasn't cool. Like that was very childish of her. Zadi is an older lady, but she be acting very 20-year-old ish. Very 21, 22, 23. Not a lot of 30 plus. And Zadi, we know you 30 plus. So not too much. And that's really all for really Zadi. I hope she gets it together with Diamond because I don't think she should punish Diamond for fool line with other women by using the kids as punishment. They have nothing to do with that. So the kids shouldn't have to be away from their father just because you're having personal strifes with Diamond, especially on a damn reality show. Like, let's be real. Next, let's talk about Fantana and Diamond. Diamond, y'all, I told y'all, is the future of Africa. You feel me? He has the dreads, multiple kids, player, the ego. He probably popped perks and some other ish. Okay. When they be kissing, it be making me so uncomfortable because Fantana lips so damn big. I feel like she gonna swallow Diamond's lips. No shade. Diamond, I feel like has a lot of relationship sort of issues that he's not dealt with. I feel like he wants to have any woman that he wants plausible so he could feel like that guy. And I feel like Fantana's less than smart for believing in this man. I don't know why Fantana thinks that they will ever be in a committed, stable relationship because we've seen how he moves. You are dealing with a man with 5 children. Like, I don't know. Like, not 5, but I don't know how much they got her and Zadi got together. I know they have at least 2 or more. But it just I don't get Fantana. I don't get why she thinks that because she's a baddie. So it's like you could really get anybody. Why would you settle for Diamond? Like he's ran through, literally. So you're dealing with him and you're having this whole cast low-key clown you behind your back. Now, Diamond said he didn't get an invite for the wedding. I believe him. I don't think he got an invite for the wedding. I feel like Zari was playing coy by doing that and trying to make him look like he was bitter about not coming to the wedding. Because why would you invite your ex to the wedding, especially when you canceled them on social media? It just doesn't make any sense. So that's why I really, really believe Diamond in this whole situation. The scene where he came in towards the end and then kissed Fantana out of nowhere, I said, ooh. And another thing, Fantana, you're letting Diamond nut in you raw. Questionable. Very questionable. Why? Why? Why would you want to become another baby mom? I was looking online and a lot of people were like, oh, Nadia's doing too much. Nadia's doing too much. No, Nadia was trying to help this girl out. Like, hey, girl, wake up. I don't want this man, but you do realize that he has another girl. Now, apparently he had a girlfriend at the time, allegedly, by the name of Tanzania. That was her name. So Tanzania, y'all, was supposed to be allegedly Diamond's girlfriend, but he claims that she was just a part of his music video and that they never were sort of dealing with each other like that. By the way, Diamond is another one that's really tea with the fashions. I really like his fashions and the way that he dresses. Like his style, dressing wise, is more my style than Swanky's. Swanky's is very over the top and like costumey. Diamonds is very like, that's how I dress. Like, I love to dress like Trey. Like that's like my aesthetic. So I would shop all up and down Diamond's closet. Like that's like a dream of mine because like his clothes is very much tea. Okay, except for that skirt. No shade, Diamond. Please leave that skirt at home next time. It was quilted. You feel me? That was a quilted skirt. You guys are not in Ireland. It was so funny when he walked in and all the girls were keen at his skirt. They said, oh, he has a skirt like an island woman. I was like... Anyways, he claims that the Tanzania girl is not their girl, he's not his girlfriend, and that they're not really like in a committed relationship. So he thinks that like, you know, that is like all cap. All right. And then we see in the end that she might be sort of pregnant, which I hope you don't let this nigga keep nothing in you raw. Please don't. Okay. And I'm supporting Nadia not being friends with Fantana anymore. Because if you could deal with a dude that is so gaslighty and you don't see through the BS, that tells me you're less than smart with your decision making and that you could care less about me. Because you could low-key care less about yourself. That's just how I feel. I feel like if she were to get pregnant by Diamond, that it would cause even more issues because Zari the Bus Lady does not like this man for nothing. I mean, does not like this Fantana for nothing. Like she is like her evil stepsister or something. Okay. So next and last but not least, we have the new girl. Poor the new girl. Okay, this was very bad casting, and I blame Swanky. Because why would you bring this girl on here and she wasn't even given like that? This girl's missing half of the season. Like we didn't even see her halfway through. We have Kefi Mabote, okay? Let me tell you about Kefi. Like, I just, first of all, she was like Doja Cat. I said what I said. I bet to be famous instead. Young, famous, and African, that's my said. Okay? Just like Doja Cat. First of all, she was drop dead gorgeous. I mean, like, there's like, whew, you just can't deny it. The beauty is there. Now, she gets into it this season with Zari the Bus Lady because of an incident that happened during a scene where she sort of felt like Zari was sort of disrespecting her. She had a point and what she was saying though, because she sort of checked Zari. Because one thing about Zari, you let her slide, she gonna ice skate. So it's good that she checked right then and there, but I feel like she dragged the situation. The way that she almost sought the hell out of Zari, I was like, damn, bitch. This show not supposed to be ghetto. This supposed to be opulent. Y'all supposed to read each other. We don't want y'all fighting. So that showed us that she has a hot temper. I feel as if she wasn't the right fit because we barely saw her throughout the season. And also that I think that her getting that angry and wanting to fight and basically telling Zadi like, bitch, I got something for you. That shows me that like next time she gonna really hit you, Zadi. And I'm not trying to get Zadi the bus lady to get hit upside her head. You feel me? And she the type, Zadi girl's type that's gonna sue. So I don't think you want to go down that way, Ms. Mabote. Like, I don't think you want to do that. I don't. I don't think she should come back next season. This is like the second or third friend that Swanky brought on that just did not fit in. And it really did not work. So clearly, we need to have Swanky to stop doing friend referrals because they're not working. Let's get a friend of Annie's. Let's see how that works. Let me know what y'all think down below about this season. I love this season. It was really great. I love the fact that we got to learn a little bit more about just the cast in general. I just wish that Connie comes back full-time next season to be the narrator because it just adds more of a flair towards the season. Let me know what you guys think down below about this entire season. Were you guys sad that it didn't end in a cliffhanger like it usually does? Leave your comments down below, and we're out, babies.
No personal thing.